It's so fake.
I'm like, this can't be real.
Look at how much honey we have.
Do you believe in love?
We're not in the pursuit of perfection. Woke us all up.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop.
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
It was supposed to be her comeback. A soft-focus, feel-good Netflix series designed to reintroduce Meghan Markle as a creative visionary. Instead, it blew up in her face. With love, Meghan wasn't just bad. It was a full-blown disaster. Reviewers called it unbearable. Viewers couldn't sit through more than an episode, and even Meghan's most loyal supporters found themselves asking, what exactly are we watching? The show was marketed as intimate and inspiring.
Always loved taking something pretty ordinary and elevating it.
I am physically nauseated watching that clip. That is like a parody of what that show should be. I had to get it totally wrong.
Baking pies, doing good deeds, and making new friends. But what hit the screen felt like a bizarre parody of sincerity, soaked in overproduced visuals, robotic compliments, and forced emotion. Netflix had invested millions and handed her 2 full seasons. But after the premiere, they were left with plummeting ratings, savage backlash, and a lead star reportedly fuming behind the scenes. Sources close to the project claim Meghan is blaming everyone but herself, producers, editors, even Netflix, for how it turned out.
I don't think it has a chance of surviving. I think if there's any justice, it's going to, just sink quickly, and Netflix will move on to the next best thing.
The woman who destroyed her in-laws' family, whose own family doesn't like her, whose the in-laws obviously don't like her, the public doesn't like her, she seems to be one of the more vindictive, sort of nasty figures in public life.
But the truth is harder to ignore. The audience has spoken, and they're not buying it. What was meant to rebrand her image only amplified the very criticism she spent years trying to escape. But the backlash was just beginning. If, with love, Meghan was supposed to show us a softer, more relatable version of Meghan Markle, it failed spectacularly. The show's moments, clearly designed to be heartfelt, came off as awkward, scripted, and painfully fake. Like the now infamous "I love doing small acts of kindness" scene, where Meghan stares lovingly into the camera while awkwardly passing out compliments and baked goods like she's on autopilot. At one point, she bizarrely repeats, "My Luke, your Luke, my Luke," in a scene so strange it immediately went viral for all the wrong reasons. Then there was the honey scene, Meghan beaming at a table full of jars while declaring, "We're not in pursuit of perfection, we're in pursuit of joy." Critics couldn't tell if it was a cooking show, a parody, or just a desperate PR project wearing an apron. One viewer called it a Hallmark movie without the plot. Another said it felt like a Pinterest board became sentient. Even fans of the Duchess admitted something was off. Too polished, too performative, too out of touch. It wasn't just boring, it was uncomfortable, and it raised a troubling question. If this is how she acts when the cameras are on, what's really going on behind them? And what happened next would rattle her entire brand.
I've never seen someone that struggles to just give us like one strip of authenticity.
I think the woke have been asleep.
Oh my gosh, I work so hard.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous.
It all unraveled further when Meghan sat down for a heavily promoted podcast with self-made billionaire Jamie Kern-Lima. The episode was supposed to be raw and emotional, 2 powerful women sharing truths. But what listeners got was something else entirely. Meghan dabbed her eyes, voice trembling, claiming the pressures of her life had overwhelmed her. It might have worked, if not for one damning detail. There were no actual tears, not a single drop, just the performance of crying. Social media lit up instantly, and within hours, a resurfaced clip exploded across the internet. Meghan bragging about how easily she can cry on command. 1, 2, left I go, she laughs in the old video. Give me 3 seconds. Viewers couldn't believe it. Suddenly, her podcast breakdown didn't look brave, it looked rehearsed. Then came the experts. Body language analyst Scott Rouse broke down the clip frame by frame. He pointed out constant blinking, facial expressions that didn't match her words, and a suspicious lack of tension in her muscles. Her voice cracked, but her face stayed still. "That's not pain," Rouse said. "That's a performance." Fans felt duped. Critics felt vindicated. And Meghan? She stayed quiet, but the damage was already done. And what followed turned a PR nightmare into a legal one. Just when the outrage around Meghan's fake tears began to settle, another storm hit, and this one had real-world consequences. A woman in Maryland, Robin Patrick, came forward with a jaw-dropping claim. Meghan's DIY bath salt recipe featured on her Netflix show left her with severe burns, ulcers, and lasting damage. Patrick, who is diabetic, said ingredients like arnica and Himalayan salt reacted dangerously with her condition. The result? Weeks of pain, medical treatments, and now a potential lawsuit demanding $10 million in damages. Meghan's team scrambled to distance her from the incident, insisting it was a personal creation, not intended as medical advice.
That's why a lot of these celebrities that start these things, they can't keep up. You know, like the Meghan Markles.
But you're the same.
You're the same.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you don't get.
I knew her a bit before she met Harry. She was nothing like that. She didn't speak like that. Her mannerisms weren't like that. This is all fake.
You just can't keep faking it. It's too hard.
But that excuse didn't land. After all, the recipe was part of a highly produced episode pushed out on the world's biggest streaming platform. Critics were quick to ask, how does something like this even make it past Netflix's legal team? And why would Meghan, with all her resources, casually share a recipe that could harm people? The media pounced, calling it negligent. Lawyers warned it could open Netflix and Archewell to serious liability, and viewers were left stunned that what began as a tone-deaf TV show was now spiraling into real legal chaos. But Meghan's next move made it even worse. For someone who walked away from royal duties, Meghan Markle sure seems obsessed with the crown. That became crystal clear when eagle-eyed viewers spotted something shocking on one of her Netflix gift baskets. A handwritten card signed, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. There was just one problem. She's not allowed to use that title anymore. Not publicly, not privately, not at all. After stepping back from the royal family, Meghan and Harry were formally stripped of the right to use HRH. So why was she still signing off like a working royal? Critics called it delusional. Comment sections exploded. And even some of Meghan's former supporters admitted it was cringe. Polls soon followed. One revealing that 2/3 of Brits wanted Meghan and Harry stripped of every remaining title they had. Behind the palace walls, things weren't much better. Insiders claimed Prince William was furious, reportedly calling their behavior a betrayal. And while King Charles has remained silent, sources say his patience is running out. To the public, this wasn't just about a title. It was about credibility. Meghan wanted to leave the palace, but not the perks. And that's a contradiction no amount of curated podcast interviews could fix. But what came next? That was far darker and far harder to explain. Long before Meghan wore a tiara, whispers about her past followed her like shadows. One of the most persistent? That she once worked as a yacht girl, a coded term for women hired to mingle at high-end parties aboard luxury yachts, often for the ultra-rich and powerful, tabloids hinted. Internet forums buzzed. And though no concrete proof ever surfaced, the rumors refused to die. Some even claimed she may have crossed paths with figures like Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein at these exclusive events. Meghan denied everything, of course. But the timing, the photos, the strange silences, they all left people wondering. Then came another bombshell. Meghan publicly claimed she knew almost nothing about Prince Harry or the royal family before they met. She even said she'd never Googled him then. But former friends told a different story. One said she had a vision board with Harry's photo on it. Old blog posts resurfaced, showing her fascination with royal life years before they even dated. The picture was shifting, wattless fairy tale, more calculated climb. Was Meghan just another ambitious actress who got lucky? Or had she been aiming for the crown all along? And just when people thought she might step back, she launched something even stranger. After all the backlash, Meghan tried to pivot again, this time through a lifestyle brand she hoped would reset the narrative. Enter American Riviera Orchard, a soft-focused mix of luxury, wellness, and perfectly curated aesthetics. But before the public could even figure out what it was selling, the brand quietly rebranded to As Ever. Why? Because the launch flopped almost instantly. Social media dragged the logo. Viewers pointed out it looked suspiciously similar to the official coat of arms from a small Spanish town. Legal drama erupted. Small businesses came forward claiming the name was already in use. The brand's image, meant to scream sophistication, started to look more like a copyright lawsuit waiting to happen. But the most bizarre part? The products sold out within minutes, even though Meghan had only made a tiny batch. It didn't take long for people to accuse her of staging the whole thing as a fake success story. One YouTuber even caught her site switching from coming soon to sold out during a live stream. Critics saw it as a desperate attempt to stay relevant, a PR move, not a real business. Because if there's one thing Meghan does better than marketing herself, it's making drama look like a brand. But even that wasn't the final act. The downfall was already in motion. At first, Meghan Markle was framed as the royal rebel, a breath of fresh air meant to modernize a rigid monarchy. But years later, that image has crumbled into something unrecognizable. From fake tears and awkward Netflix scenes to lawsuits, title scandals, and shady business launches, every attempt to rebrand seems to crash harder than the last. And while she claims to be misunderstood, the pattern is impossible to ignore. Each move, every podcast, product, or public appearance feels meticulously staged, polished to perfection, and oddly hollow. Critics now call her the Duchess of Drama, a woman desperate to hold onto a spotlight that keeps exposing her instead. Even her defenders are beginning to step back, because this isn't just about bad press anymore. It's about trust. The emotional breakdowns, the royal branding, the staged authenticity, they don't feel accidental. They feel calculated. And somewhere along the way, the line between reality and performance disappeared. The question isn't whether Meghan still wants fame. That part is obvious. The real question is, after everything that's happened, who's still buying what she's selling?